If you are looking into buying cheap and safe FIFA coins, look no further than footcoinshop.net. They have the fastest service, an incredible loyalty reward system, and the best prices around. Use my creator code Inception when you sign up for your account and get a 5% discount with your order. Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Guys, today we have apparently what's going to be the next promo in regards to the icon end of an era cards. I guess they're gonna release cards that haven't really gotten the upgrades that they needed in the past, and now that it's the end of the game, they're finally gonna get them. There's a lot of cards that honestly just were not good to use for pretty much the entire year, so hopefully the upgrades they end up giving them ends up being some really good ones, right? So some of the cards here that you'll see is going to be Rooney, Beckham, Campbell, Scholes, Lampard, Ronaldinho, Roberto Carlos, Kaka, Bergkamp, Henry, Vieira, Piero, and Shevchenko, right? So a lot of very interesting cards for the most part. You can see here that the icon end of an era cards are for FIFA cover stars end of FIFA era. The stars that are listed here are the ones that are going to be the ones that were basically on the cover of the games, right? So, you know, a lot of interesting stuff to talk about here. It's kind of weird though, because I don't know if they're going to release them as SBCs, because some of these cards already have the best version of themselves that are still very good to use nowadays, and then there's some cards that are just not, right? So we're going to see how they end up doing that kind of stuff. What we're going to be taking a look at is some of the improvements of what the cards could potentially look like, right? So with Wayne Rooney, the first thing that I'm going to say, right, is I think the biggest improvement that they can do for this card is that if I can give him an engine chemistry style, right, while working with the stocky body type, but his dribbling stats are pretty much close to the 99 area, and then they massively boosted the defensive stats, I feel like that would have been a really cool thing to work with for Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney not having defensive stats is a crime to society, because this guy in his prime was a workhorse monster. Like, at least they got the work rates right on the high defensive work rate. But the fact that he has no defensive stats is crazy. Like, this guy at least should have 70s at the very least for the game of FIFA, because he was like, he defended a lot, man. This guy was a workhorse. Like I said, I mean, he was on like 7 of the FIFA covers for a reason. Rooney was a fantastic player. But yeah, I think it's gonna be like a key thing here. Obviously, like a finesse shot trades could definitely be a really cool thing too. You know, he's got outside foot shot, he's got chip shots, so a bunch of the good things there. This wasn't a card that people used for a long period of time. For me, when I used him, I had to use him as an attacking oriented center mid, because in the main attacking positions, the stocky body type would be a little bit of a nuisance. So yeah. Beckham, to be fair, some people did end up using the Team of the Year rated version of David Beckham. They did. I did see a few people. I don't know why he's this expensive. That's actually appalling. That's not worth that price whatsoever. That is ridiculous. Wow. 1.3 million coins for this David Beckham card. No, dude. No. He is not that value in game. That's almost like, imagine like keeping Martial at like 1 million coins. Martial must be like significantly lower. Let's see here. Some cards they're at a certain price point where it's like, you have, like, people will look at your team, right, sometimes, and they'll be like, oh, but you have this player that costs this much and my team costs this much. But then you have a player like Martial's good. He's not 937 good. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. Anyways, David Beckham's card, right? So David Beckham, the most obvious thing for this card is defensive stats. If you give him defensive stats, and then maybe you give him like a 5-star capability or a 5-star weak foot at the very least, then the card's cool, right? Because obviously by default, they're going to increase the stats everywhere else. But the stats increase in the defensive position is going to be the key one, because he's a 6-foot tall player. He's an average body type guy. So increasing the defensive stats, it just makes sense, because for me, the way that I see him being used generally, if he had the defensive stats, is a stay back, cover center mid, because he would still play to his base characteristics of attacking sometimes and still scoring sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And then you would have a cool guy that has like a really nice free kick animation in game, right? Outside foot shot, chip shot, playmaker, long shot taker, finesse shot, early crosser. Yeah. David Beckham needs defensive stats. Like they should understand the meta of their game, to be honest. That's a weird one. Campbell, I mean, Campbell was okay to use. It was okay to use. They gave him like a shapeshifter's card. This one over here. This card was okay. It was actually pretty usable if you wanted to use them. I think most people that would end up using him are people that are Arsenal fans, to be fair. I don't think a lot of people would use him because at this point in the game, I mean, I say at this point in the game, but with this card, you give him like a marksman or something, you make him a lengthy, he'll be decent. You could also give him a finisher, not care about the lengthy, and he was still good on that too. Like when I did the review, I was using him mostly on the finisher because I knew that dribbling was going to annoy me a little bit. Because the lengthy is a little bit too linear for me, you know, like unless you're like Petr Cech or something, it's a little bit boring to play. So kind of needed that on the finisher. But obviously base card stats or pace being high, really helpful there. Not really sure what they'll do with Sol Campbell because obviously he's a center back. I mean, he has to be a lengthy player on a shadow. His base card stats for physicality needs to be significantly higher, and then his reactions and composure needs to be significantly higher too. And the work rate change would be nice too, because low medium is not it. Nice little medium-high change would have been nice. Paul Scholes is... We've never had a good version of Paul Scholes. I don't care what anybody says. Like, this card is always... I wouldn't use this card in the beginning of the year. A prime version of him. I don't even know why he exists in this game. This card exists... It's so weird because it's so disrespectful to one of the best midfielders in the Premier League to format him in this way. Like, I don't even know what they were... I couldn't even tell you what they were going for with this card. This is the prime version, so imagine these guys here. Like, look at the state of these... What is... This is... Bro, I'd rather use silver cards over this. That's like, appalling. It's kind of crazy, eh? Like, they put a card like Scholes, and then before the game comes out, you get, like, super hyped. Oh, I can finally use Paul Scholes, but you'll never use him because he's trash. Like, he's trash. This guy needs to be a shapeshifter or something, man. That's a horrible card. Give him a good weak foot, 3-star, 3. Like, who's using this? I've never seen this card used one time. On my life, I've never seen him once. That card needs everything. Needs a skill move, needs a weak foot. The work rate you could keep if you want. 5'7" short and lean. I mean, you gotta be able to give him a shadow. His dribbling needs to be like everything. That needs a drastic upgrade. Lampard is another one too. The Titans version of the card is usable. It is usable if you want to build like a Chelsea squad or whatever it is. It was a usable card, to be fair. Obviously with the lengthy accelerate being a thing makes it more usable, but he needs some pretty drastic upgrades as well, because the way that he's formatted is to be an attacking oriented center mid, but he doesn't have the base stuff to be an attacking oriented center mid, right? Like 6 foot tall, average body type, agility and balance low, right? Like a lot of things is just missing on the card. Now, if you make him a lengthy, and he's a high medium still on an anchor and stuff, but you boost a lot of the stats, then, you know, it's okay. But yeah, this is more of a usable card, right? People don't really use Lampard too much. Again, one of the best midfielders in the Premier League era. He definitely deserves a pretty stacked up card as well. They take too long to give you like good icon cards. Like, it's the last 2 months of the game, and like people won't use this card in the top divisions. They even that during that time period they wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So very important to mention. Ronaldinho is going to be a monster. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Even when I did the review for this prime card, I told you guys straight up, I'm like, listen, if you guys do the SBC, like, it could be expensive in your eyes, but it's a good card. You know, if you think you're never gonna get this Team of the Year icon card, just get the prime, because this card will actually last you a long time. Like, when I was using him in the review, he was sick, man. Like, pretty much everything about him was dope, right? And there were some years where Ronaldinho was like a weird card. Like, he was like Pele nowadays, back in the day sometimes, you know? But Ronaldinho this year, I never tried these versions, couldn't tell you a single thing about them, but from this version and the Team of the Year icon, like the Team of the Year icon, one of the best cards in the game, but the prime version is genuinely so good. So not really much to say there. They're probably gonna give him like a 5-star weak foot if they make him a thing in the future. He'll be a sick card for sure. But Ronaldinho is really dope in this game. Roberto Carlos, I mean, they could try to make him like a little bit more meta for sure. The Trophy Titans is okay to use, right? It's okay to use. I would still prefer to use like a Theo Hernandez, a Camavinga, Alphonso Davies, like those types of guys for sure, over to Carlos. But, you know, if you needed some links in your team, the card would be there for you, obviously. But Maybe, I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know. Maybe like an anchor chemistry style, making his pace perfect will be important. Because he's a smaller player, right? 5'6". So when it comes to like manual running, sometimes when your players are shorter, they don't have that like stride to like chase after people, right? So it's important to mention that having that being higher would be a little bit more ideal to work with, right? So a couple things there. Kaka, I mean, dude, I thoroughly believe that this is a thing. When SBCs are released, and people unlock the SBCs, they have like an SBC syndrome. It's like I did the SBC, so by default, because of the price of it, right? By default, I like this card. Listen, man, when I reviewed this card, I told you guys straight up, I wasn't a fan of him. Like, and I never used him since. Like, ever since that time period, some people were telling me, oh, but you could give him like an engine and he feels better even though his shooting is low. I'm just like, no. What they have to do with this card, honestly, is really boosting him. Like, if we're talking about like prime Kaka, AC Milan days, destroying Man United kind of flex, you know what I'm saying? We got to give this bad boy a sniper chemistry style, and you got to boost the stats everywhere else, right? Base card stats for pace higher, passing, dribbling. You EA in your game, 99. Okay, 99. You know why I'm telling you this? Because this is how bad your dribbling is, all right? Especially with your gameplay. This card is 99 dribbling, but this doesn't feel like 99 dribbling because he's still physical, 6'1", high and average plus, right? So you got to do that for these cards to make them feel as good as possible, even though he's a unique body type player. You got to do it because he's still going to feel a little bit more physical, right? And then the other thing they could do, maybe they give him like a hawk, you know, but you could see that the pace is already boosted, so it wouldn't even necessarily be like a hawk. I would say like a marksman, maybe. No, just anything that like just makes him perfect in all four. Like at the end of the game, it's kind of like what you have to do, in my opinion. Dennis Bergkamp. Bergkamp's card. This card was actually pretty decent. I liked using him. Yeah, the Trophy Titans, they definitely did some saucy stuff to their attacking AI for sure. Because when I used this card in game, his movement was perfectly fine, even though it was a medium. Trophy Titans was that one promo where they released cards that had like proper attacking AI. The cards themselves were not cards that lasted a long time, but the attacking AI of these cards were significantly better. Like I remember even Michael Owen when he got a card. Michael Owen should be here, isn't he? I swear, Michael, am I wrong? Or Michael Owen, was he not a cover star one time? Or am I thinking of Pez, guys? Back in the day, I definitely had Michael Owen on a thing. I'm pretty sure, bro. Oh, I don't see anything. That's interesting. I feel like I would have seen him. So it's a weird one for sure. But yeah, anyways, Dennis Bergkamp, they could definitely do some really good stuff to him. He's already formatted perfectly for that engine, right? In the future with the improvements, perfect pace, perfect shooting, passing, dribbling, physical being higher. If they make his attacking AI similar to this card, even though he's a medium work rated player, he'll definitely be really nice as well. Thierry Henry, they already have a Thierry Henry card, which to be fair is really good. Not on the level of Mbappe. Mbappe is still him in this game for sure. This card, honestly, when I used him in game, he was an amazing attacking center mid to use. Like in the 4-3-2-1, I loved using him there specifically, right? In the main attacking positions, I'd still prefer to have someone that's a little bit more responsive. But I mean, honestly, if you use him up top, he was still amazing. I used him up top and he was great because he's a five-star player. You start him over on that right-hand side, you can pretty much use him anyway, right? And people were like, oh, but it's kind of weird to finally get a good version of Thierry Henry and, you know, he's not right-footed. And I'm just like, dude, the 5-star weak foot is perfectly fine. You could score so many goals with that, right? So, yeah, Thierry Henry, they're just going to make an improved version of this card. I don't know, maybe they make him feel like an absolute monster, mate, but we'll see. Was this drop actually real? I was about to say, bro, look at that drop right there. Kind of crazy that cards cost this much, eh? That's a little bit wild. You gotta pack these bad boys. But yeah, Thierry Henry was great, man. I liked using him in the main attacking positions, but that center mid spot specifically was great. Patrick Vieira, the brick wall. To be fair, guys, Milinkovic-Savic holds his own. You know what I'm saying? Milinkovic-Savic holds his own. That's why I put him in the S tier for that tier list, man, because he holds his own, my boy. Yeah, if you have Milinkovic-Savic, you're good. You don't need to get no Patrick Vieira. I'm going to be honest. You really don't. Like, Patrick Vieira is good for, like, links and stuff because of the French guys and whatnot. If you're going for the French links, that would be nice. But this guy's a brick wall, guys. He's an amazing CDM. Like, if you're playing a 4-1-2-2, 4-2-3-1, and he's your stay back cover center player, he's just, he's a brick wall. He's very hard to pass. And the same with, honestly, it's the same with Milinkovic-Savic. That card's crazy. Del Piero, another card that I enjoyed, but was still formatted really low in certain areas, right? So with this card, I gave him an engine, I believe, and I was like, in this game, if they didn't do the pace adjustments with the accelerate changes with controlled and explosive players, giving this card an engine chemistry style would have been fine, right? But obviously, there's some situations when you attack where the pace is on the lower side, and you do wish for that to be higher on the card. But this Del Piero card was fantastic to use and has really good potential when it comes to a future improvement because the card is formatted very nicely, right? On that engine chemistry style, I could see like a +3 or 4 acceleration sprint speed boost, 3 or 4 in dribbling, shooting and stuff, you know, making him essentially a perfect player would kind of make him really saucy. Which cover was he on, Del Piero? Oh, 2004. Kaka and Rooney. Theo Walcott, eh? How crazy is it that we have a year where Jack Wilshere's on it, eh? That's wild. David's, Bergkamp. Is that David? The 7, so I don't know. That's not David, is it? Hard to tell. Don't know who this is. It looks like a Newcastle kid, so like a young version of Shearer. 96, this is when I was born, so I have no idea. No, these ones, no idea. No idea. David's twice, eh? Wow. Or more than one. No. Ronaldinho on the cover, man. Whew. Those are the days, bro. Ronaldinho on the cover. I remember these ones specifically, bro. Like 07, 08. 06 too, you know? Good times. Good times. And then last but not least, oh, finally, this card. This card's in... Wait, Shevchenko. Oh, dude, never had a good card. Never. Look at it. Look at this card, bro. Look at this. Never had a good card. This card is horrible, bro. Bro, give me that AC Milan Shevchenko. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me that prime AC Milan Shevchenko. Again, they release these cards just to give you fodder, pretty much. Like, if you pack something in the card, it ends up not being that good, that's what they give you. Nobody used Shevchenko. Never seen him one time this year. Honestly, I've seen Rui Costa one time this year, and Rui Costa is horribly formatted. Look at this card. Oh my goodness gracious. Pile of trash, this card. My goodness gracious. Ugh. No wonder they're downgrading him to a hero. He's horrible. Anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys. Shout out to Svensky, by the way, because needed a thumbnail, and it's pretty nice. I like these cards. It was a good card design. Link in the bio if you guys want to check them out.